Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joe here speaking. This week's episode, just like a couple weeks ago when we did the Bring Your Own Topic episode, we ran over our time. Not that we have a designated time for episodes, it's just we like to keep it short and sweet for you guys, but this week's episode was too big. And I just want to let you guys know that we split it up into two, just like I did a couple weeks ago. So enjoy this episode about the Cecil Hotel, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Is This Real? As usual, I'm your host, Joe. I got my three amigos with me. I got Dad.
What up?
Eric.
Ryu West.
And I got Roadblock.
Hey, yo.
So, on this week's episode, gentlemen, we are piggybacking off of the big Netflix documentary that just came out. Why the fuck not? Because, could help our viewing or ratings for these, not viewings, listenings. That's not a word. But either way, it could help.
English is not our specialty.
No, it's not. It could help our, downloads. That's the word I wanted.
Now you got it.
Yeah. So this week's episode, we're doing. It's a two-part. It's not really a two-part. They are one and the same. It is the mystery of the Cecil Hotel and what the fuck happened to Elisa Lam.
Good question. I don't have a fucking clue.
I don't know. She was obviously killed.
That's a very difficult question.
Yeah, I can't say that for sure. There's definitely some things, but I guess to fill in our viewers for those who haven't seen the Netflix
Spoiler alert.
Well, no, but just to fill in to give people a history of the building for those who haven't seen the special, or just don't know anything about it, like me as of 3 days ago.
Word. I didn't know what the hell we were going to do until that day.
Yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the Cecil Hotel is in Los Angeles, downtown. And it is a building that was built in 1924 by three hoteliers, if I said that right. William Banks Hanner, Charles L. Dix, and Robert H. Shops.
He said Dix.
I'll be honest, I thought that said hostelers when I first read it. Hoteliers.
Oh, God, Miss Walker would not be
Your English
Yo, shut up.
offends me sometimes.
Miss Walker, what did you do to him?
My English offends me sometimes.
Okay, anyway, it's a destination for business travelers and tourists, or at least that's the original purpose, designed by Loy Lester Smith in the I don't know if I'm saying it right, the Bew Arts style, and was constructed by W. Patton. This is something I heard also in the special on the video, was that the hotel actually cost, even back then in 1924, $1.5 million to complete the building.
That's a lot.
And they
of money.
invested $2.5.
Yeah, that's a lot, even for back
for
then.
1924. That's probably about $500 million.
That's a nice
now.
hotel. I mean, look, for the pictures I saw with the, when the entrance and the foyer and everything, it really looks, with the Art Deco, it looks really, really nice.
No, which pictures are you looking at, though? The ones from the 1920s
well,
or current?
That's a good question.
It has to be the 1920s because,
No, the current. If you look at the pictures of the current hotel, when you walk into the lobby,
yes,
it looks grandiose. It looks really nice. It looks like a 5-star hotel. It's just once you get past the lobby, you step into like 1984. Not even 1984 or 1970s like Brooklyn.
Those rooms look like shit.
Yeah,
they actually look like a tenement. They really do.
If you look at, if you listen to what they say, that room, that hotel is more for like tourists and travelers coming from who don't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really
so
cheap.
I think it's like what, $85 a night, or
I think it was
something like that?
89.
Yeah, $89 a night.
A night. You can't beat that for downtown Los
Angeles.
Right.
Like,
yes,
it's
really
cheap.
cheap.
You can. You got all them homeless people. You could definitely find something.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is located in
that's the downside.
Skid Row.
Yeah, that's the downside. It's a really good, big, looks like a good, big hotel, but
welcome everyone to Eric's Tent City here under the fucking bridge. Yes, I'm your host, Eric. Ryu, by the way, and we have a 1-person tent, a 2-person tent, and a 3-person tent. Bathing is optional, and you can take a shit around the corner.
Well,
$74 a night.
And the great part is there's taco trucks everywhere.
Oh my god!
The fucked up part about that, it's when you listen to that documentary, they said one part that really disturbed me about what she was saying is that when you log into your room or get to your room, there's community bathroom and shower.
Yeah, shared. Sometimes there's
sounds like prison.
Yeah,
sometimes they're same sex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not there. You don't have your own personal bathing or shower in some
for $85 a night.
That makes a lot of sense. You know.
I went to a Days Inn for $49 a month or 2 months ago, and I got a shower, I got a shitter, running water.
What about when we were
talking about Los Angeles?
What about when we were going to Florida? $85 a night, $35 a night.
I'm not going to mention the hotel
$25 a night.
Yeah, we paid $19.
We pay you to sleep here.
Right. Because my wife and her mathematical skills were wonderful, saving the money to get back to fucking Jersey from Florida. What do we have, honey and the kitty? Well, we have about $85. Well, wait a minute, we have to stop and sleep. And
now,
then
mind you, we're in South Carolina.
Well, actually, we were in Florida. We were stuck in bumper to bumper traffic. Like, I'm not going there. But anyway, yeah, that was one of the worst fucking hotel. But even that hotel at $19, once they turned the electric on, it was great.
Oh, God. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember the electric went off. Oh, look, someone got it in Ward 3.
Okay, moving on.
Shit.
A little bit more facts.
Tell me that story off air.
Got you.
Okay, a little more facts. It was a grand hotel, 1.5 million to
before the crack.
But unfortunately, within 5 years of its opening, the United States sank into the Great Depression.
That sucks.
That sounds like my last week. The Great Depression.
Oh, jeez.
Sucks so much.
So basically, what you're telling me, this was built as a hotel for
because it was built next to the train tracks.
Okay, so people coming in, staying there.
The Cecil Cecil Station, I believe it was.
Yeah, or something like that.
So people are actually coming to this hotel, staying there, and it was I guess at the time, 27, 28?
20, yeah.
I guess at the time, this was supposed to be a
great luxury hotel, but unfortunately, the Depression hit, caused it not to fail because obviously it's still there and still raking in money, but because of the Depression and since then, it basically created the slums that are there, which is Skid Row.
Now, let me ask you this one. I read somewhere where the first couple years were like really bad for suicides. A lot of suicides that were taking place there.
Yeah, I think the first one was like what?
I'm going to read the entire list of the occurrences that happened there.
All right, well, let Josh finish up what he's doing.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'll let him finish but there's an entire list I want to get through.
When Josh gives you that litany like that, it's like E.F. Hutton. You got to stop and listen because he's got that voice.
I guess if you want to say that.
I'm going to call you Boomer from now on, but go ahead, Boom.
Right. So that was basically what happened. The Great Depression ended up causing so much homelessness. One of the facts actually says as many as 10,000 homeless people lived within a 4-mile radius by the 1950s alone.
Eric, you can open up number 2.
Bro, I would have made a killing out there.
I'm telling you, man.
Well,
Eric's Under the Bridge soiree.
Well, you know what?
I can make your logo.
I can't even say I'd make a killing. Those people was killing each other back then.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. That was room service. They'd have to kill each other for their food. Room service. There you go.
Listen.
Service.
Any disclaimer right now. Bro, we are raunchy as fuck out here. This is a podcast where we speak our minds and we just try to have a good time. So sometimes a little comedy gets thrown involved. So you little piss ass motherfuckers with some sensitive ass ears just gotta fucking accept it. It's comedy.
We lost all of our followers in the United States.
Eric, what in the blue hell are you rambling on about right now?
The preceding message was brought to you by Eric, the king of the slums. He now has 4 locations all through Los Angeles. Some with running water, some with running people. Thank you, folks.
Running people. That's what it is. God. It's running people.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Go on, Josh.
That was by the 1950s. 10,000 homeless people lived within a 4-mile radius, which is one of the other reasons why it's called Skid Row. It's legit a slum area. Even from
and all the people there are shit.
No, they said I said a lot of blocks though. They said it was like 56 blocks.
Yeah. Increase. Just the regular stats from like when it started back then. As of right now, in 2021, it's about a 56 block radius.
Jesus Christ,
that's a whole fucking city.
That hotel,
that's a whole neighborhood. That's a whole neighborhood.
That's basically downtown, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's basically from that. To put it into perspective, you'd be like from Totowa, from right where Totowa meets Patterson to like Riverside.
Essentially, yeah.
Holy shit!
Just useless people.
Well, not useless. They're down on their luck. I mean, let's calm ourselves down here.
Yeah, because you know, a lot of them, from what the documentary was saying, and
a lot of
I don't know shit. A lot of people just criminals.
Hey man, I'm one unemployment check from being away from being one of them motherfuckers.
Hey man, you just gotta make.
Chill out.
Listen. The only thing that'll make that complete is that you have to hop in a boxcar with a fucking skip with a fucking stick and a rag behind you, and just say that
I'm sitting on my blanket over here, man.
I'm going to Skid Row, and that's it.
All right, Eric. Last bit, so we can move on to stuff. Couple notes. In 2007, a portion of the hotel was refurbished after new owners took over. In 2011, the Cecil Hotel was rebranded as Stay on Main.
Stay on Main.
However, its official website is actually still thececilhotel.com.
Does it say who did it say who the new owners are?
Well, it said. Well, I don't know who the new ones were, but it says in 2014 the hotel was sold to the New York City hotelier Richard Bourne for $30 million.
Wow.
Jason Bourne.
After which New York-based firm Simon Barron Development acquired a 99-year ground lease on the property.
The fuck? Why would you want to do that?
That's a lot. That's a long ass time, man. Because think about it. Just thinking for the future. Who knows what the hell's gonna happen in 100 years?
So basically, what happened at that point is you got a ground lease. It's just like they got it at some of the places down the shore. Any title property. What happens is you don't own the land. You own your house, but you don't own the land. And those leases, you have to pay rent to the leaseholders, and they make a lot of money doing that. So whoever owns you can own the building.
Oh, so they could turn around and just knock down the hotel.
Well, no, they can't, but they can demand. Look, you got to pay in full, so they'll put a lien on a hotel. And
more rent for the room or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just little stuff like that. There are people that are literally like living there.
Well,
no, I know that.
I don't know what the point of that would be 99 years, because as of February 2017, the Los Angeles City Council voted to deem the Cecil a historic cultural monument.
So,
all right.
I don't know if you would actually call it that.
How the fuck do you do
that?
Come on.
I would not.
How do you do something like that? I mean, the thing is that suicides, murder, rape, disappearing women. Okay, they found Elisa Lam in the tank on the top, right?
On the roof? Yep.
Okay, but it's a landmark?
We'll get into that.
Oh, come on.
Well, what was it? Richard Ramirez used to stay there a lot.
All right, so this is the actual, I don't know, are you done?
Yeah, I was just reading the
Okay, so this is the actual list of deaths and violences at the Cecil Hotel, beginning with...
That's a nice segue. There we go. Are you done? Yeah, I'm done reading facts. Okay, suicides.
The professionalism on this show is amazing.
I love it. Don't you just love it? Are you fucking done?
Stop reading.
So the time, it has an actual timeline here. So on the evening of January 22nd, 1927, Percy Orman Cook, 52, shot himself in the head while inside his hotel room after failing to reconcile with his wife and child. Although the Times reported that he was rushed to the hospital, With a slim chance of survival, death records reveal that he died the same evening. That's one. Now that's a suicide.
So that was the first one?
That was the first one in 1927. So on November 19th, 1931, Manhattan Beach resident W.K. Norton, 46, was found dead in his room after ingesting poison capsules. A week prior, he had checked into the Cecil under the name James Willies from Chicago. So that's 2 suicides.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Harsh to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
That's in the same. No.
No, this is 4 years later. Now, a year later, not even 11 months later, in September 1932, a maid found Benjamin Dodich, 25, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He did not leave a suicide note. So that's 3 suicides in a span of what? It opened in 24.
5 years.
In a span of
5 years.
5 years, yeah. But since the thing
7,
opened,
I think.
yeah, 7 years since it opened, it's 3 suicides already. That's a short time.
That's pretty fucked up because then you got to start questioning what's wrong with this place.
Yeah. So this is the next one. In late July 1934, former Army Medical Corps Sergeant Louis D. Borden, 53, was found dead in his room at the Cecil. He had slashed his throat with a razor. Borden left several notes, one which cited poor health as the reason for his suicide. So that's 4 in a span of 13 years. The next one, in January 1938, United States Marine Corps fireman Roy Thompson, 35, jumped from the Cecil's top floor and was found dead in the skylight of a neighboring building. He had been staying at the Cecil for several weeks. So that's 6 now.
That's way too much for me. That's way too much.
In May 1939, Navy officer. Now that's 3 straight, Army veterans.
Yeah.
Navy officer Irwin C. Neblett, 39, was found dead in his hotel room after ingesting poison.
What year was this one?
This is 39. So you're talking from 24 to 39. There was 7 suicides.
But it's the second one by poison, right?
Second one by poison.
Okay.
So those war veterans. Was the U.S. in World War One?
World War One, yes.
We were in the First World War?
Yeah, but that was 1917. So you're talking 20 years.
Yeah, it was done by 1922.
Yeah, 21, 22, something like that.
Hey, you never know, man. Some of those people could have been shell-shocked.
Shell-shocked.
True. I mean, it's fucked up, but yeah, that's true.
In January 1940, teacher Dorothy Seeger, 45, ingested poison while staying at the Cecil and was reported by the LA Times to be near death. No further reports were published about her condition. Her death is listed at January 12, 1940 from findadeath.com. There's an actual website called findadeath.com. Okay.
Almost as
so that's
bad.
now 3
That's
from
almost
poison.
as bad as the other website. Was it Room Spook? It actually tracks the hotel deaths.
Is anybody questioning any of this as this is going on, or is this just
I have not read anything from that. You would have to find the police reports and stuff like that. But in September of 1944, Dorothy Jean Purcell, 19, was sharing a room with her at the Cecil with her boyfriend, shoe salesman Ben Levine, 38. Purcell, who had apparently been aware that she was pregnant, went into labor. She later testified that she did not want to disrupt the sleeping Levine, so she went to the bathroom where she gave birth to a baby boy. Thinking the baby was dead, she threw him out of the window and he landed on the roof of the adjacent building. Purcell was charged with murder. 3 psychiatrists, known as the alienists, testified she was mentally confused at the time of the incident. In January 1945, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Now, I'm starting to believe, now, other than the ones for poison, you said 4 for poisoning?
3. 3 from poisoning.
You know, what if there was something...
There's something supernatural going on there.
Well, you know, that's also a thing, but I'm where I'm going...
That's only half the list now.
I'm just wondering that maybe is there something...
And that's just suicides or people that have died,
yeah,
right?
I mean, this is this is our first murder one. Like, straight up murder.
Yeah, because the other ones have just been suicides.
No, what if there's something? Does anybody know if they checked the air filtration system in this building?
Again, I don't.
I mean, maybe they were getting some kind of fucking Legionnaire's disease or something.
But you're talking about over almost 100 years now.
Yeah,
that nobody checked this. It's 100 years, and the air conditioner is just gonna be bad.
I don't know, Joey.
Was it air conditioning? I don't think was air
partially refurbished.
I don't think air conditioning was a
first
thing.
floor and stuff like that. So it's like,
has anybody checked into the owners who built the building? Has anybody checked into their background? Did they have I don't know?
Search them up, Josh.
Were these guys Satanists? Were these guys involved in the occult?
Let's just put it like this. So far from the list that I'm reading about, you know, all the deaths and suicides. Suicides, obviously, there's something mentally wrong there. Mm-hmm. And this chick got off on mental illness. Insanity.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, honestly,
there's something messing with somebody's heads.
From
so far, you know.
From what I was thinking with that one, that's just like, that one I could kind of see how the insanity thing would work, because it's just like, she really just like said, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to wake my sleeping boyfriend. So I'm just gonna give birth
and then yeet my baby off the out of the window.
Bathroom.
Not to make a joke, not to make a light out of a yeeting baby.
Yeah, well, like obviously, I'm not trying to make it's all fucked up like all this shit, but like,
yeah. All right, so in November 1947, Robert Smith died after jumping from one of Cecil's 7th floor windows. That's another suicide. So that's what, 8 suicides now, 1 murder. On October 22nd, 1954, San Francisco stationery firm employee Helen Gurney, 55, jumped from the window of her 7th floor room and landed on the top of Cecil's marquee. 1 week prior, she had registered at the hotel under the name Margaret Brown. So now that's 2 jumping out of the 7th floor.
So that's 10 suicides?
9 suicides. 9 or 10.
Yeah, 10 suicides, 1 murder.
On February 11th, 1962, Julia Frances Moore, 50, jumped from the window of her 8th floor window and landed in the second story interior light well. She did not leave a suicide note. Among her possessions were a bus ticket from St. Louis, 59 cents in change, and an Illinois bank book showing a balance of $1,800. Or around $15,500 dollars adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, there's something.
So that's 11 suicides.
There's something.
And you're talking now, I think 4 from jumping from the 7th floor above.
Yeah, there's just something not right there. It's got to be. It has to be based somewhere along the line, and you know, and in some kind of supernatural thing to make people want to drive themselves to kill themselves.
Maybe like the suicide forest.
Well, there's a couple more.
It might be as time went on, people figured, well, this is the place to do it. Let's do it here.
So on October 12th, 1962. Now this is February 11th, so October. That's 8 months later. Pauline Otten, 27, jumped from the floor of her 9th floor room after an argument with her estranged husband, Dewey. He had left the room prior to Otten's suicide. Otten landed on a pedestrian, George Gianni, 65, killing them both instantly. As there were no witnesses, police initially thought Otten and Gianni committed suicide together. However, it was soon determined that Gianni had his hands in his pockets at the time of the death, and he was still wearing shoes. Had he jumped, his shoes would have likely fallen off during the fall or upon impact, and his hands would have not been in his. So that's another suicide jump. So that's 12 suicides, 4 from jumping. On June 4th, 1964, hotel worker discovered Pigeon Goldie Osgood, a retired telephone operator, dead in her room. She had been raped, stabbed, and beaten, and her room was ransacked. Osgood, was well known around the area and had earned the nickname because she fed birds nearby Pershing Square.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that one in the documentary.
Near her body was the Los Angeles Dodgers cap she always wore and a paper sack full of birdseed. Hours after her murder, Jacques B. Ellinger, 29, was seen walking through Pershing Square in blood-stained clothing. He was arrested and charged with Osgood's murder, but was later cleared of the crime. The murder remains unsolved.
So what are you leaning to?
Now that one's a little iffy. Like, what the fuck? So he was walking around with a bloodstained shirt, and like he got off with that.
Well, if at the time you're talking, this is 1964, they don't have forensics.
That's very true.
And you can't prove, like, obviously if you have to prove that it's her blood.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can't really.
Has there been any current investigations as to what went on? I know. Just Josh Gates went there. Not Josh Gates.
Yeah, the guy from
Zach Gates or whatever. Zach
Baggins.
Zach Baggins went there, and they did a whole thing. But I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know what they.
I haven't either.
Found and Reddit found. So I'm leaning towards the fact that with all this death, and that's only up to what 64, 65?
64.
Okay, I'm leaning towards that. Maybe it started out as something, these people killed themselves, but just like, Eric just said, the suicide forest, that didn't just start when everybody killed himself. It gradually built up over time.
Becomes a breeding ground for negativity and darkness and all
exactly.
that. And death specifically. So all that
64. That's 50 years ago.
All that leads into like what, like spirits wandering around and stuff.
Oh,
like
that definitely draws spirits.
Or just like
all
that. Just they all heavily stayed there because like that's where all their violent
and don't
stuff
forget
happened. At least just like if you like how you just said, if you believe in sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, believe. You got a place that's like what, 3 towers? I think it is.
It's like 17 stories.
Yeah. There's what, 400 rooms,
something like that.
There's a lot of places.
It's a little mixed because, at least because of the fact of maybe I just saw it, but it's like I read something where for some reason it said originally you only had like 299 rooms, but in the documentary the girl said 600.
Well, it says it's 19 floors.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at some more info. It says it's 19-floor hotel and has 700 guest rooms.
Holy shit!
So I don't think
they could have been adding if they did renovations.
Well, if they only really renovated the lobby.
Yeah, it's hard to add unless you're going to build onto floors. It's hard to add more rooms. You have to build up, and I don't think they were doing that. But there's a lot of things. Number one, you got to find out. There's definitely going to be some kind of supernatural, dark energy in that building. When you have this many deaths, you're going to have that. Now,
I can tell you something supernatural real quick.
Go ahead.
I haven't found a single piece of info on any of the 3 holders, the original hoteliers.
See that?
I just punched it into like Google and I didn't see a single result.
Well, don't punch it in. Don't punch it in Google. Go to somewhere else.
No, I'm gonna keep trying.
Google.
But I like
Google knows.
And that's strange in its own right because
not even on Google. It like I couldn't. The closest thing I saw was William Banks Hanner, but that's actually not the one from 1924. It's someone that's current who's
these guys have money,
designer.
So they're going to be out there somewhere.
They're family.
Their family. Somewhere along the line, they've done something. Now, maybe they brought this when they built it. Maybe a couple of people. Just killed themselves from the building, and then the dark energy took over. And that's, don't forget, in a place this size, okay, there's a lot of places for these fucking spirits and the energy to manifest itself and to hide. If you want to draw it out, say you like in a house, you want to draw out, the house has got a demon in it. There's only so many rooms you can go in.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to get rid of the demon if you do it the right way or whatever. But in a situation like this, when it attracts guys like Richard Ramirez, that fucking guy was a devil worshiping jerk off.
Let's continue with our story then, because it gets to that. On December 20th, 1975, a still to this day unidentified woman, approximately 23 years old, jumped from her 12th floor window onto the Cecil's second floor roof. She had registered at the hotel on December 16th under the name of Allison Lowell and was staying there in room 327. And then in 1985, serial killer Richard Ramirez begins his stay at the hotel. In 1991, serial killer Jack Unterweger becomes a resident. On September 1st, 1992, the body of an African-American man was found in the alley behind the Cecil. Police said he had either fallen, jumped, or been pushed out of the hotel's 15th floor. It's very vague. It's one of the three. He didn't float there.
What year was that one?
1992.
Okay, I was gonna say.
The 20 to 30-year-old man has never been identified. And then this is the one that we got this hotel most known for. On February 19th, 2013, the naked body of Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student, was found inside one of the water supply tanks on the hotel roof. She had gone missing for almost 3 weeks earlier, on January 31st, 2013. Her decomposing body was discovered by a maintenance worker in one of the rooftop water tanks after guests had complained about low water pressure and water that tasted funny. Authorities later ruled Lam's death as an accidental drowning. Video surveillance footage taken from inside the elevator shortly before her disappearance showed her acting strangely, pressing multiple elevator buttons, hiding in the corner of the elevator, and waving her arms wildly, causing widespread speculation about the cause of her death. After the elevator video was released, many theories about Lam's death... After the elevator video was released, many theories arose about Elisa Lam's death. Elisa Lam. She was reported to have bipolar disorder, for which she was prescribed various medications for, which could have contributed to her death as well as her strange behavior in the elevator. However, rumors persist that she died as a result of playing the elevator game, a paranormal urban legend that claims to take the player to another dimension.
I don't know. You know what? Judging from that documentary we saw this afternoon.
Oh, we saw about 20 minutes of it.
Well, it did have her with her. What was that? Not Facebook. What was that? Tumblr. So it was all her entries. They didn't seem weird to me. It just seemed like a young kid that's going to be going on an adventure.
The problem with Tumblr, though, is that you don't know who follows you on Tumblr.
Right.
And if you're posting entries like, I'm here now, I'm here now, I'm here now, if some sicko wants to follow you, and as an avid Tumblr poster as she was, somebody could follow her wherever because the guy said she left a virtual breadcrumb trail. If you guys enjoyed this, thanks for listening. Tune in next week for the second part. We definitely enjoyed talking about the Cecil Hotel, and there's a lot more stuff to cover. We didn't forget anything, because I know you guys listen about the Cecil Hotel, so please tune in next week.